You're not hot enough for women to hamster themselves into still liking you. First, let me just cut the crap and get the insults out of the way. Yes, women will make excuses for your shittiness if they think you look good looking or powerful enough, in order to still get you to fuck them. This goes from every single characteristic that people find shitty. Virginity. He is saving himself for marriage. Hasn't found the right one yet. Baldness. Being poor and appearing introverted and closed up. He is simply dark and mysterious. They hamster themselves into wanting to fuck these men because they're so high status to them it literally does not matter. They convince their pussies that these guys are still fuckable. This is perfectly fine and how the world works. Contrary to popular belief, Red Pill acknowledges this fact of life. The minuscule minority of guys will have girls practically simp over them in order to keep their pussies wet and ready because that is simply what they do for men who are unicorns. But you're not a unicorn. I know that because you're here instead of drowning in pussy at every corner so you cannot pull the shit the guys that look way better and are in a way better status than you can. Red Pill works, and it applies to men. The only men which it doesn't truly apply to are unicorns, men 9 and above facially, who are hella tall and with big status. Even guys who are 7s or 8s cannot get away with doing dumb shit. Unless you really like fucking fat and ugly chicks because to them you are a unicorn and, again, flawless. So don't try it. Realize that being dark and mysterious is vaginal sense. You put yourself in the mindset of a woman. Think about it. How do women attract men? Are they forward? Are they bold? What do they do and say? Do they go up to a guy and start flirting? The answer, nothing, most of the time. They put themselves out there, appearing dark and mysterious, letting men enjoy in their gazes, and maybe one of them will approach and take her home for the night. Or spark a conversation that gets her tingles going. And on the chance no one comes, well, they were just doing some other things unrelated to finding a man. Obviously, they didn't come there to flirt with anyone. Nope, they were just there, showing off indirectly, so nobody got rejected. Then they can tell themselves, well, at least I appeared dark and mysterious and stoic. How good of a quality is that? Perhaps some of them thought things about me. Well, sure, this is a safe practice, and doesn't have the risk that approaching does. It carries major risks on its own in other forms. The girl in the story is looking for a hard dick to pound her pussy, so I'll ask you a question. Do you want to take a big dick up your tight, most likely waxed bussy? Or do you want to get pussies wet and have women wanting to jump on your cock? If you want the first part, hey, feel free to keep lifting, being dark and mysterious, and dropping the soap in the showers when a gay bro acknowledges your sexy physique. If you want the latter, being dark and mysterious has the lack of risk, and it doesn't make women horny. What makes women horny is bold and forward masculinity creates a great contrast between a woman's shifty and dodgy femininity. Observe the reality and tell me, who do women tend to fuck with? The men who are introverted and shy. The guys who just sit by the sidelines with hands in pockets and don't flirt or make moves because it's gonna fuck up their coolness. No, they fuck LOUDMOUTHS. That's right. Guys who are funny, who make moves, who take risks, slide into DMs, and who don't care about being mysterious. Guys who do shit that makes red pillars cringe, but at the end of the day they reject the fact that these men fuck. And not only do they fuck enough to be considered in a category. Fuckboys. They make fun of them and talk shit, then suck their dicks and bend over behind closed doors. Then they age past 25 and start crying about how these men are just awful, wishing their cuck beta husband can still fuck the pussy the same way, but I digress. Men aren't mysterious. Men who are mysterious are often less mysterious, and more men with insecurities and or lacking in something. The most attractive thing you can do is this. Improve the fuck out of yourself to your best ability and then show them with pride, this is who I am. Let these women know that you're going to fuck the shit out of them and have their tingles go haywire. If you have it, you show it. If you don't, you turn to the mystery. But no, you don't show it. No, you want to be stoic. You want to be cool and just DGAF about bitches and tricks. Well, I'm here to tell you that you care way too much about holding your frame. Finally, the last point, but certainly not the least, you put your frame above everything else. Men who believe in D and M tend to be the ones who are extreme about frame holding. I've seen it plenty. Got disrespected. Did someone threaten you? A guy sat at your table and told your girl that you're a sissy. Hey, at least you still held that frame. Yay. At least you did something that you can take home, like a participation trophy, and consider yourself a winner. But truthfully, what makes a man is the complete opposite. I'm going to tell you something controversial that completely breaks the most basic red pill principle, but which is so true. Being able to not give a fuck about your frame at times yet still keeping it is the most attractive thing a man can do. Think about it. If you go through your life always caring about your frame is weak. Picture this, two men with each having a brand new phone in their hand. This phone is their frame and their display of status. The men are asked to throw their phones into the distance. And if they don't, they have to pay the person $50 or he will pay them $50 if they do. One man tells him that he is crazy, that he just got the phone, that he can't afford to throw it, and pays $50 to stop the risk. What does the other man do? He throws it, the phone breaks. He gets $50 and spends way more than that to repair his phone or to get a new one. Question: which man looks of the higher status to you? The man who was too afraid, poor, thinks about risks involved and succumbs to the pressure? Or the man who has so much status and money he can just do that shit and still be thinking, now what? So stop giving a shit about your frame too much and appearing a certain way. If you cannot break it or rebuild it, then you never really had it. There's a time and place for frame holding. But as a man, it is your duty and obligation to throw your dangly frame match 5 up against the wall. Go for it, take the shot. Make yourself look silly. And still have your frame there, without a dent, or at least with an ability to rebuild it as a man.